The Four Seasons is a new Netflix series based on the 1981 film of the same name. So today, let's see if it's worth your time. The decade-long friendship between three married couples is tested when one divorces, complicating tradition of quarterly weekend getaways. So this is based on the 1981 film directed by Alan Alda and had Carol Burnett in the film. Alan Alda also starred in the film. There are three couples that do get together every season. So you have 8 episodes, about 2 episodes per season. You're gonna have spring, summer, fall, and winter. And this series stars Tina Fey, Steve Carell, Coleman Domingo, Will Forte, all playing partners within this series. And this was really entertaining. I have not seen the 1981 film. I am curious to check it out, see the comparisons between the two. But 8 episodes, you have Steve Carell, who divorces his wife, and he starts to date a much younger person, Ginny, and that just kind of throws a wrench into this decades-long friendship between everybody. This young girl, Ginny, is trying her hardest to be friends with everybody. Tina Fey, Will Forte, Coleman Domingo. They continue their tradition of going on these vacations. What works so well for the series Friends is that you could take one character and place them with another character and it would feel authentic. You could have Chandler with Joey or Phoebe with Joey and it would work. You felt like they were good friends. That's what I loved about that series. That's how I feel about this show. You could take Tina Fey's character and put her alongside Coleman Domingo, and you could tell that they were friends. You could put Marco Cavalli alongside Will Forte, and that would work as well. You could honestly feel that they are friends, and they have been friends for quite some time. Throughout these 8 episodes, they're sharing stories from their past, but that friendship seems so authentic and real. Despite some arguments throughout the show, despite some relationships falling apart, you can tell that everybody is good friends. And that adds to such a realistic vibe to this show. You're going to have highs and lows to these friendships, and you're going to have some awkward moments where Steve Carell brings in his new girlfriend Ginny, and Tina Fey and Will Forte and Coleman Domingo just have the hardest time adjusting to it all, and they just don't want to confront Steve Carell's character about it all. And you're going to have moments where everything just feels like it's broken, but everybody's trying their hardest to stay friends. And the comedy does work in here as well. Steve Carell brings his great charm to this role. Tina Fey and Will Forte play off of each other very well, but one of the standouts for me is Coleman Domingo and Marco Cavalli as this couple, and they are also very charming and likable throughout. The characters go through a lot of changes and they argue quite often, but their personality is intact and they are very likable throughout. And I was disappointed that the show was over because I wanted to continue watching their lives unfold, watching the relationship between Steve Carell's character Nick and his ex-wife and how they are navigating through all this with their daughter, and Will Forte and Tina Fey and some of their struggles with their relationship, and Coleman Domingo going through some health issues, and his husband played by Marco Cavalli. These are characters that seem very realistic in the way that they are explored, and the arguments do feel earned at times, and it just kind of pushes these characters forward. And seeing how they are challenged, it brings up very real arguments and moments in lives as people drift away from each other, and they understand that throughout people are changing, growing up, and they want to live the past and explore that again, and just isn't the same. And there are a lot of heavy topics in here, growing apart from each other or changing or trying to hold on to that past and having a hard time embracing the future. And I was surprised with some of the emotion behind it all, especially towards the end, as you get to know these characters even more, that emotion comes out, and it does become very heartbreaking at times seeing these characters who do seem very close as they are drifting apart, and adds so much raw moments to the show. I enjoyed the comedy and the charm between the characters and that connection that everybody had. And then at the end of it all, it became quite emotional. The connection is very strong. Everybody, like I said, everybody feels like friends. I really loved Coleman Domingo in here and how he became so close with everybody, and then also accepted Ginny, this young girl, into the show as well. But they don't forget about Anne, who is played by Carrie Kenny Silver, and she is oftentimes left out of these vacations, but she still feels like a good friend to everybody since she's been friends with these couples for quite some time. But the comedy is there. You have a lot of funny moments, especially between Tina Fey and Will Forte as they're married, that back and forth. Steve Carell's funny as well. It's not a gut-busting funny series, but I just was constantly laughing. I enjoyed the realness to the show, the drama, the emotion, the comedy between the characters, how likable they are, how good friends how everybody felt like they were good friends throughout, and exploring different seasons and how the seasons are changing and the relationships and people are changing as well. I'm very curious to check out the 1981 film and see the comparisons between the characters, because the characters have the same names and the kind of the same structure to their relationships, and seeing how it all played out in that film. We have 8 episodes. You could just kind of expand on it all and really go in depth with the relationships and the seasons as well. I like that there was 2 episodes per season, so you really get a chance to explore the characters at that point in time. And there's a lot of transition go throughout, and just adds some more of an emotional vibe to the end of the show. So I really like the 4 seasons. It was one that I was easily able to binge. I just did not want it to end because I really like the characters and what they represented in the seasons, and that relationships that were growing. I just wanted to see it explored more throughout. So if you are looking for a fun show and you like Steve Carell, Tina Fey, Coleman Domingo, Will Forte, I highly recommend checking out the 4 seasons. It's a great series. I'm gonna go ahead and give the 4 seasons a B+. Thank you guys for checking my review for the 4 seasons, the new Netflix comedy series. Have you guys seen it by chance? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Justin Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.